The biggest lie that you've been fed about women is that you, as a man, are the one who benefits from a relationship. And because of this, you should go out of your way and pursue a woman and convince her to like you and get into a relationship with you. But what I'm going to do in this video is explain why that's total bullshit and why you should only pay attention to women who actually want you and who already have high interest in you. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to read to you a post that I made inside of my school community discussing this subject, and then we're going to talk about what you as a man need to do to get the dating life that you want or the relationship that you want. So let's get into it. The title of the post is Pay Attention to Women Who Want You. There is no bigger waste of time for men than pursuing a woman who has shown no interest in you. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of your own value. Our culture has convinced men that women are a prize, and if we do not have a girlfriend, we are lacking something, when in reality, it is the other way around. A woman without a high-value man is missing the most important element of her biological imperative. A man can have sex to fulfill his biological mission. A woman not only needs sex, but needs commitment from a man of value so that he can provide resources to her and her offspring during child rearing. With that in mind, why are you trying to pursue a woman for relationship when she is the one who stands to gain from it? Being that she is the one to gain from locking down a man of value, it logically follows that she should display interest in you in order to get that commitment. And if she isn't, it means you're not that guy. Don't take it personally, just view it as a job that needs to be filled and your resume isn't what she's looking for. Perhaps for another woman, you do fit the bill, or maybe it just means you've got work to do on yourself. Either way, there's no reason pursuing a woman who hasn't shown she wants you because it is in her best interest to lock down a man, meaning she will show that she wants you if she does. This is so important to understand, guys, is like they've got you convinced that somehow like women aren't going to display interest in a man. As if like the whole game is set up in this way where it is implicitly understood or suggested to you that you need to do a bunch of shit to get a girl to like you, when in reality the idea behind that basically would suggest that she's doing you a favor by dating you, which makes no sense. She's the one who's benefiting from a relationship. You as the man, your biological imperative is to spread your seed sexually. And we're talking specifically about biology here. I'm not speaking about morals or anything beyond that. I'm talking about purely from a biological perspective. Your role as a man is to spread your seed. Her role is to lock down a high-value man who can provide for her and her offspring and make sure that she has the highest quality offspring. So it is completely in her best interest to find a high-level man to deal with. And there's this notion that somehow she's not going to show interest, that you have to go out of your way to make her like you and all this stuff, when in reality, she's the one who gains from this. Think about it like, again, I mentioned it from like the job application position. Imagine it's like you're the NBA. The NBA doesn't go out and like chase down people and try and convince them to play basketball. The NBA is just this great opportunity and everybody's dying to go play in the NBA. So you see how that works. Like you need to view yourself that same way. You have a very, like if you've made yourself a high value man, which you should be working on, you are a valuable commodity. You're an asset to her life. She's going to show that she wants you if she does. And it completely fucks the dynamic up when you go at it from this idea that you have nothing to bring to the table and that you need to convince her to like you, because that's total bullshit. So continuing on, women will break the rules when they want to. When they want you, excuse me. I don't just mean that sexually, I mean that with everything. They will drive to you. They will text back quickly. They will be pleasant and agreeable. They will text you first and ask how your day is going. Society has fooled men into thinking it is they who benefit from a relationship, when in reality, it is the woman. And when you become the kind of guy she wants, this dynamic will become very clear to you. So a lot of you guys, maybe you haven't leveled yourself up to the point where you start getting this kind of reaction from women. This is something that over the past year, I have started to reach this point with, where I can tell a woman to come to me and she will come to me. I can just text a girl and she's available to date me. She doesn't make me jump through hoops. She doesn't say, I'll think about it and all this shit. She will be down to see me. So, like, it might seem foreign, this idea that I'm suggesting to you that they will do this stuff to you, but trust me, if you level yourself up, they will start jumping through hoops for you because you become something that's an asset to their life. This only works if you're high value. If you have not made yourself high level, then you really don't bring anything to a woman's life. If you're just some normal dude who's not in great shape, who makes $50,000 a year, you don't really add anything to her life. You can't take care of her financially. You're not very attractive physically. You probably don't have the kind of mentality that she's attracted to. So, like, that kind of guy, yeah, like, she's not jumping through hoops for him. But if you've put in the work on yourself, you carry yourself like an alpha guy, you have the right mindset, you are doing well for yourself, you have cool experiences that you go on, and basically you have this world you've created that is an asset to her life, you will watch, they will start jumping through hoops for you. And then it only gets more extreme once they figure out that you have other women you're talking to and now they're competing with those other women. Then they will really jump through hoops for you. And so this is a really important thing to understand, but you have to make yourself high value for this to work. So with that in mind, how should you pursue women? You use the douche mentality that we always discuss. For those of you who are new to the channel, the douche mentality is the way that we discuss on this channel how you need to develop your mindset as a man. They've got you fucked up out here convincing you that being a douchebag is a bad thing, when in reality, being a douchebag is how you get literally everything you want in life. You want to do financially well, you need to be a douchebag. You cannot be constantly people pleasing and doing all this shit. You got to get it while you can. You got to be aggressive. You got to go hard. You got to say no to a lot of people. You got to be kind of a dick if you want to be successful. You want to do well with women, you got to be a douchebag. I'm telling you, this is what everybody in the world responds to, the douchebag energy. And so that's what we call it on the channel, is the douche mentality. You need to develop this if you want to do well with women, and you want to take that approach when it comes to dating them. So continuing on, that means you live in your own world, view yourself as valuable, and pursue women with total nonchalance. And just to point this out, like, if that sounds offensive, because a lot of people will like fucking, like, their hair stands up when I say be a douchebag, because they're like clutching their pearls, they've got this blue pill cucked out mindset or something. What I just said right there is the douche mentality. Live in your own world, view yourself as valuable, and pursue women with total nonchalance. Why would that be a problem? I'm telling you, they've got you deeply fucked up out here thinking that, like, being a good man equals being a people pleaser, doing all this nice guy shit, going out of your way for everybody, constantly trying to get the approval of other people, and then just pay attention to the results you get from that. It doesn't work. Be a fucking douche, guys. I'm telling you, be a douche. Seriously. Focus on building an incredible life for yourself. Pursue your interests, develop yourself, and live life on your terms. When dating, don't go out of your way to set a date as if it's a big deal to you. Do something that is convenient that you would already do. Don't set a date thinking, I should find a restaurant close to her that she might like. Instead, think, I like this restaurant and maybe this woman would like to join me at it for dinner. If she wants you, she will come, even if it's out of the way. Again, this is so important. Like, why does that matter? Why are we not going out of our way here? Why are we doing this? It's because they've got you convinced that you should constantly be accommodating this woman, but, like, the underlying assumption beneath that is that you're doing all this accommodating because she's better than you. Because notice how, like, you don't typically, like, the normal way society does it is it asks very little of the woman. The man is to pay for it. The man is to drive to her. The man is to take care of her. The man is to hold the door. The man is supposed to be the responsible one. The man is supposed to do all this shit. And she just gets to have a great time, apparently, in life. Nothing is ever expected of her. And so it's implicit in this thing where you're constantly trying to accommodate her, this notion that she's the one who needs to be courted and won over here, when in reality, if you have made yourself valuable, she needs to sell herself to you. So why are you going out of your way? Again, imagine that you had this incredible job offer. You were a business owner and you had this amazing job opportunity, and it was paying $500,000 a year, and it was just this great thing, came with a lot of status, a lot of perks, really cool job, and somebody applied for the job. Would you drive to that person's house to do the interview, or would you tell them to come into the office to have the interview? And if they don't want to come into the office, you'd be like, fuck you. I've got this great opportunity. Believe me, someone else will take it. You need to carry yourself the same way when you're dating. You are a great opportunity if you've put in the work on yourself. So start acting like it. The worst mistake a man can make is like he'll listen to all of the dating stuff, he'll listen to the alpha male stuff, the success stuff, the self improvement content, and he'll go make himself into somebody who has value, but he still has this fucked up beta male mindset deep down. And so he does all that shit just to go put a woman on a pedestal still. And it's like, why did you do any of this? You have grinded. If you're a man who really put in the time on himself to make something great of yourself, to build a career, to build your body, that is discipline over a minimum of like 3 years that you have really worked hard to make yourself into somebody of substance and quality. And then you're just going to turn around and go, the first girl who shows you some interest, you're going to drop everything and go completely out of your way for her. It's like we have, as men, have got to understand we have value, and society is never going to tell you you have value because it's always popular to beat up on the guy. It's always popular to view the man as the workhorse. He's the useful idiot. He's the guy who's going to go die in a fucking ditch in some war somewhere. He's the guy who's going to pay for this chick. He's the guy who's going to just do all this fucking wagey jobs. Like, it is very, like, it is in society's best interest to constantly control men and give men low self-esteem. Society benefits from men having low self-esteem because that makes them controllable and they don't see their value. And so they view it as this constant thing where they have to go out of their way for everybody just to prove that they have some sense of worth. It's fucking bullshit. Seriously, like, you have worth. Why are you going out of your way to convince some woman to like you? She gains everything from the relationship with you. It doesn't make any sense, okay? If she doesn't want to see you, she will give you trouble on this, in which case you ignore her and focus on a woman who really wants you. Don't fall for the rationalizations. She will try to convince you to put in equal effort to see her, or maybe she will try to convince you it's your, quote, masculine duty to put in all the effort. This is a fucking, this one kills me, guys. It's like the women will always gaslight you into thinking that it is your job as a man to jump through hoops. It is not your job as a man to jump through hoops. You know what? Here's the deal. If they want to go back to the Middle Ages and they want some fucking chivalrous courtship, then they can also, like, you want me to jump through hoops, you want me to be your fucking knight in shining armor, then fine. You need to be a middle-aged woman, which means you need to shut the fuck up and do exactly what I tell you to do at all times, no questions, and I'm slapping you if you have a problem with it. I know that's going to get me fucking canceled if somebody finds it, but just real talk. I don't want to live in that world. But if they want the man to act like that, then they need to play their fucking part. You get what I'm saying? I'm good with something different. I'm not trying to slap chicks. I'm not trying to, like, live that life. You get what I'm saying? But, like, I'm making a point here, right? If they want the Middle Ages, the man of the Middle Ages, then they need to act like the woman of the Middle Ages. And it's this thing where, like, this is the one that gets guys, is you've been convinced that, like, this is what the conservatives have done to men, is they have convinced men that it is the liberal feminist women who are the problem. And you want to find yourself a good trad woman, a woman who has traditional values. But you don't realize that those bitches are worse than the feminists. They are feminists. It's just that not only are they feminists, but they also expect you to act like some Middle Ages man. They are the worst. Seriously, it is this, like, trad con type of chick, the one who's going to tell you that you need to be a man and do this thing for me. You need to be a man and pick me up for the date. You need to be a man and buy dinner. You need to be a man for this. You need to be a man and provide for me. I want to be a trad stay-at-home mom. You need to do all this shit. And she's constantly, like, browbeating you all this shit. They're the fucking worst. And they don't have any of the traditional values, because they're trying to boss you around the whole time and nag you. So it doesn't make sense, but they will hit you with this. I get this a good bit. You'll especially get this. This is a funny one because, like, guys will think, oh, it's only American women or it's only liberal women. And so they'll go seek out and try and date these women from other cultures or these women who supposedly have traditional values. They go to church every now and then or some shit like that. And, like, I'll go on dates with these kind of women, and they are the absolute worst because they are, like, LARPing like they have traditional values, meaning that they demand all this shit from you. They expect you to act chivalrous. They're a lot less likely to try and sleep with you on the first date and things like that. So they're going to make you do all this bullshit, but then they get to act like modern women. It makes no fucking sense, guys. They are the absolute worst. I'd rather, if I'm going to deal with that, I would rather just deal with the liberal feminist chick who's like down with the fucking patriarchy or some shit like that. Because then at least she'll just, like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, she will, like, She won't be nagging me and expecting me to do a bunch of bullshit that I don't want to do anyways. And I'm not saying like go like this is the plan, like we're gonna go like date a bunch of like liberal feminist women. Like they're annoying too in their own ways. But my point is like don't fall for this psyop that you'll get from a lot of what is like quality women. They'll call themselves like quality women. Don't fall for this psyop they will hit you with where they try to convince you in your male rational brain to jump through hoops to be with them. They will try to convince you that that is traditional values. And they're smart with this because they know what they're doing. What they're doing is they know that you, because they can read the man from a mile away. These women are not stupid. They see you coming from a mile away with your masculinity and your I'm a hardworking guy and all this shit, and they fucking play to this. And they know it. It's like this guy thinks he's this kind of guy. So guess what I'm going to tell him? I'm going to tell him, well, if you're a man, if you really are a real man, then I'm going to tell you to go do these things. And so they get you in this ego thing where you're like, well, I am a real man. So I guess it is my traditional masculine duty to just pay for everything for you and wife you up and commit to you and drive to go see you and go through all these hoops just to see you, my fair maiden. They know what they're doing. They're not fucking stupid with this shit. They're playing on your like deep down, I wouldn't even say it's insecurities, but your deep down kind of like identity. They're using your self-image as a good masculine man against you to get you to go do a bunch of bullshit. I'm not saying they're doing this necessarily like an evil way. I don't want this to come off Machiavellian. It's just like obvious what they're doing though. They know they're saying the shit, but if you notice what's actually happening is everything they're telling you to do benefits them and it positions them as the prize that you are pursuing. And that's the dynamic that is always enforced through this. The dynamic of all the trad women who tell you to do shit is that it always comes back to you need to go pursue them. You need to show that they are the prize. It's all a fucking psyop, guys. Do not fall for this shit. It's a total fucking scam. And also, just the last thing I'll say on that before we continue on with the post. The traditional values thing, the quality woman thing is a myth. It's just a myth. I'm not saying there's not quality women out there, but what I mean by that is like there's this idea that men have that there is like you can stereotype a woman based on her external facade and you can make an assumption about her quality. You can say, okay, this girl's got her ass out on Instagram, therefore she's disloyal and bad. This girl has a picture at church, therefore she's a good woman. I can trust her. She's got the kind of values I want. You got to understand that women know what they're doing here. The same way that you know on sort of an implicit level, women are attracted to certain things. And so you're going to try and display those things. You're going to try and show off those certain things. Women know what you want to. And the traditional ones, the like the trad con kind of women out there, they know that you want this woman who has certain values. So she's going to play to this. She's going to play to it when she tells you that as a masculine man, you need to go fucking open the door for her on the car and you need to pick her up and do all this shit and jump through all these fucking hoops and you shouldn't be talking to other men because you're a true man, right? And all this type of shit. She knows it when she's doing that. She knows it when she posts the pic at church. And I'll just tell you, I have multiple times in my life had a married woman try to cheat on her husband with me. And I swear I have never slept with any of them, but this has happened multiple times. Every single one of them was a Bible thumping church girl. I swear to God, it is always the Bible thumping church girl who wants to cheat on her man. So you cannot trust the fucking facades anyways. Don't trust this shit. Don't trust the rationalizations, the quality woman thing and them trying to like convince you because that's what they'll do, right? You'll be like, well, gee, this girl's different. She goes to church and does all these things. So she would never be up to any games. She would never be on any bullshit. So I guess I'll go through all these hoops to get her, right? She's positioning herself as different and valuable and unique to you when in reality, you can't trust any of that. You don't know this person from Adam. It's probably the first time you're ever going to see her. You're going on a date. You have no idea if this girl is special. You won't know anything about her for 6 months. You date her for like 6 months, you will start to get an idea of if she actually is a quality person or not. So don't judge a book by its cover, guys. Seriously, we got to be smarter than this, okay? Moving on. Your mind will try to convince you that this makes sense. Going back, I'll read the last sentence so we remember where we're at. Don't fall for the rationalization. She will try to convince you to put in equal effort to see her, or maybe she will try to convince you it is your masculine duty to put in all the effort. Your mind will try to convince you this makes sense, but what you are actually doing is devaluing yourself. You are forgetting that she is the one with everything to gain. You are offering to not only pay for dinner or whatever you're inviting her to do, but you are also offering her the opportunity to fulfill her biological imperative of locking down a high value man. Like I had this one chick I was talking to for a bit, and she was just on this super trad thing all the time, trying to play this fucking game with me, trying to convince me that I needed to jump through all these hoops to see her. And like I literally would like I went on like a couple dates with her, and I literally just got done. I was like, what have I gotten out of this? I just asked myself this after the second date. I was like, I have gotten nothing. It's like a moderately entertaining conversation that I've had with you, and I've spent, $120 total on dinner for the two of us twice, right? It's like, what did I get out of this? You get what I'm saying? And so like my point with that isn't to just like shit on women with that. My point is to say you are doing a lot for this woman. If you have put in work to make yourself an attractive man, and you are now offering to give her a free dinner with a man who has value, you are giving her a lot. And so she needs to be appreciative of that, seriously. And if she's not, don't get fucked up on this idea that you were the one who was given the honor of going on a date with her. You weren't. I know it might feel like that if you're new to this shit, if you haven't leveled yourself up yet, or if you're new to having leveled yourself up and now you're starting to get some attention from women. I know it might feel like you're getting all this like, this is such a great opportunity. I get to go on this date with this pretty girl and I never get to do that. Believe me, if you keep leveling yourself up, that will change, and you will figure out very quickly that you are the one bringing everything to the table. You are the entire fucking table here. And all you got to do is strip sex from the equation, and that becomes very clear. Because you'll figure out the only thing really that you are chasing here is sex, which I think is a problem. And we're going to get into that here in a minute in the post. But like, if your mind is controlled by sex, you will never be able to have this mentality that I'm discussing, because you will just be lustful. Even if you have a ton of women around you, you will still be consumed by lust. And so on any given moment, you will drop your principles and standards to get sex. So as a man, I mean, I believe this from a spiritual perspective. I just believe this from a rational perspective. You need to detach yourself from sex. You need to stop treating that like it's something that it is, like it's the most important thing in life. Truthfully, like a lot of times it's really not even that great. It's not that it's not what it's made out to be. And my point with that is like, once you've detached yourself from that, you're like, okay, let's take sex out of the equation. And let's just look at this woman, practically speaking here. What has she done for me? I have bought her dinner multiple times. I have put up with her bullshit and her jokes and her feminine behaviors and how she's flaky or whatever you've done to put up with her. And you're just like, what have I gotten out of this? And you'll just find it's not much of anything. You'll be like, you know what? Now that I look at this, I don't even want to see this woman again. And that's actually the harsh pill. That's what you're going to find is the answer with like 95% of these women, is you'll go on a date with them and sex is driving you, so you want it. But once you take that out and you realize, okay, how was this experience? You'll be like, wasn't that great? She was kind of annoying. She's kind of a bitch. I had to deal with all this bullshit. All this fucking like just hoops they want you to jump through, shit you got to do. All that money I just spent, I could have spent that time on something better, right? It's just it's just ridiculous, guys. So continuing on, if she can't make an effort for that, then she doesn't really want you, and there's no reason to bother with her. Meaning, my point being, like, we'll go back to the sentence before it. You are offering to not only pay for dinner or whatever you are inviting her to do, but you are also offering her the opportunity to fulfill her biological imperative of locking down a high value man. If she can't make an effort for that, then she doesn't really want you, and there's no reason to bother with her. Take sex out of the equation, and you'll see you don't gain much from dating. It's an expense and a time suck. All the effort should be on the woman, because beyond sex, she is the one with everything to gain. She should be thankful for the opportunity to see an attractive man and get a free dinner. She should see it as an opportunity, not a favor that she's doing for you. This feels so foreign to how you were probably raised, but it's just so obviously true. And the more you level yourself up, the more women you will find who accept this dynamic. The formula most men follow is that they chase women while being low value, which sets the dynamic that they are unattractive and the woman is the prize. What you need to do instead is make yourself high value. That means internally internally and externally. Build the mindset, build your life, and become the best version of yourself. And while this happens, you pay attention to the women who want you. Pay attention to the woman who texts back quick, who makes it easy to see her, who thanks you for the dinner, and does all of the little feminine things you like. This is how you avoid wasting time and actually end up with a woman who values you. So, to wrap this up and make this very clear to you, there is no need. Women, it basically, they already have an idea of their interest level with you. And I have found that it is much easier to lower their interest in you than it is to increase their interest in you. If she's at like an 8, 9, or 10 interest level in you, then that's great. If she's at like a 6, you're going to have to put in crazy fucking legwork to get a 6 to like a 10. It's just like, why bother? And even the framing of that, again, like why are we bothering? Because again, take sex out of the equation. You're dealing with a woman who's sort of interested in you, but not really. So she's going to be a little bit flaky. She's going to give you more trouble and all this shit. And now that we strip sex from the equation, you ask yourself, why are you bothering with this? I'm putting up with bullshit. She's making my life more inconvenient. I've got shit going on. I'm a high value man. Why am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? When you take sex out of the equation, you realize it makes no sense to even bother trying to raise a woman's interest. If she's not making your life better, then there's no reason to deal with her. And the only ones who are going to make your life better are the ones who already want you. So I always say, listen, pursue the women. And when I say pursue, I mean it in that nonchalant way where you view yourself as the prize. You pursue the women who are like an 8, 9, 10 interest in you. The ones who are already like hell yeses, when you text them, they're down. They will, like, they're not going to tell you I need to think about it or let you know or some shit like that. They're going to be the ones who are ready to go, who want to see you, who are going to try and make your life better, who are polite and feminine and all that kind of shit to you. You want to deal with those women. You don't want to deal with these women who aren't interested in you, because the only reason you would do that is because you are coming at it from this premise that you need to do all this shit to get her to like you because it is in your best interest for her to date you. Like, it's not. It is in her best interest for you to date her. You understand that, right? Like, she gains everything as long as you're a high value man. That's the point. If you're a normal guy, this doesn't really apply. And this is why, again, like, I speak on this channel, I speak to guys who actually want to make something of themselves. If you're the kind of guy who values my content on this channel, you consume it a lot, you resonate with the message, you want more out of life, you are on track to becoming a high value man as long as you're putting in the work. And so you're going to get to experience what I'm describing here, which is that women will see you as an asset. So don't let them fool you into thinking that you need to put in the work for them. It's the other way around. They are the ones who gain from your commitment to them. And so let them pursue you. Pay attention to the women who want you. Don't fall for this fucking psyop that tells you that in the modern world, like, you have to do all this shit to get a woman. It's all just bullshit, guys. It's not how this fucking works. Build your own world. Make yourself an attractive guy. Build an amazing life for yourself. Women will chase you if you do this. And like I said, the more you level yourself up, the more this becomes self-evident. If you're like a 5 out of 10 guy, you're just some normal ass dude, you've probably never experienced what I'm talking about in your life. You get to like a 6, maybe you get some girl that's like a 4 who's doing this kind of thing for you. So you're not attracted to her, but like, you know, on some level, like, this girl who you're not attracted to, if you told her to like come to a date, she would drop everything and go to the date. You get to a 7, now you've got some girls who maybe you find sort of attractive who are willing to do this. You get to an 8 and start leveling yourself up further and further. You just watch more and more women start jumping through hoops to see you because they see you as valuable. It's like when you're a 5 out of 10 guy, it's like a job application at McDonald's. When you are a 10 out of 10 man, it is like a max contract in the NBA you're offering this girl. It's like the expectation is much different, right? The offer is much better. They will do a lot more. Pay attention to the women who want you. This is the proper dynamic. So the message of this video, guys, know your worth. Pay attention to women who want you. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you later.